Good evening, everybody. Welcome to live coverage of the ARCA Menards Series West Napa Auto Parts 150, presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame here at Irwindale Speedway. My name is Charlie Krall. I'll have all the action for you here tonight. We'll also be joined down on pit road this evening by Jesse Punch. We're just outside Los Angeles, California, and it is a beautiful night for racing here in SoCal. There you see the cars. They just fired engines underneath the grandstands here, giving the fans a little taste of thunder on a beautiful night as the cars roll out onto the racetrack. And a full day of action earlier this afternoon. Practice and qualifying, we ran those together. A first-time pole winner tonight. We'll talk about that here in a moment as the cars make their way out onto the racetrack. Always a high-energy pre-race here at Irwindale Speedway. Tim Huddleston, track president. I think he's blown his vocal cords out, folks. He's always excited when the ARCA Menards Series West comes to town. As there you see the field rolling around the backside of the racetrack, and they'll join the speedway there going into turn 3 and form up double wide. First of 4 pace laps here tonight. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at tonight's race analysis for the Napa Auto Parts 150, presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame. Round number 2 of the 2022 ARCA Menards Series West season. Kicked that season off back at Phoenix Raceway a couple of weeks back. It's the 31st race in series history here at Irwindale Speedway. Of course, half-mile oval, turns banked on both ends of the racetrack. There's turns 3 and 4 right there, but both ends of the racetrack banked progressively. 9 degrees down at the bottom, 12 degrees up at the top. We're going to go 150 laps here this evening. We'll take a break at lap 75. Teams have 4 tires in the pits, but when we do take that break at lap 75, they're only going to be changing 2 tires, just 2 tires on that midway break. The other 2 are for emergency causes. If someone has a flat tire, that will need to be approved by ARCA officials down on pit road. As you see, a tremendous crowd on hand here tonight. This is the season opener for Irwindale Speedway, the night of destruction here, folks. A fantastic night of on-track action here in Southern California. Jesse Love, he has picked up the last 3 checkered flags here at Irwindale Speedway. Not in action tonight. We're going to keep an eye on the car that he drove last year. We take a look at tonight's Bounty Rookie Spotlight. Driver of that number 16 car that Jesse Love drove to 2 wins here last year, Austin Herzog. Driver of that number 16 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Bill McAnally Racing. This is the team that has won the last 3 races here at Irwindale. And of course, Bill McAnally Racing has had a lot of success here. Over a dozen victories for BMR. And our Bounty Rookie Spotlight shining brightly on Austin Herzog tonight. A lot of pressure on this young man's shoulders. This car has won the last 2. Of course, Jesse Love driving car number 99. We're going to keep an eye on that car tonight as well. Cole Moore, 2021 Rookie of the Year. So between the 2 BMR cars, they've won the last 3 races here at Irwindale. We'll see what happens here tonight as we keep an eye on Austin Herzog, our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver here this evening. Let's take a look at tonight's General Tire Pole Award winner. He picked up career pole number 1 in qualifying earlier this afternoon. There's our General Tire Pole Award winner, Tanner Reif, picking up career pole number 1 and career start number 2. Not a bad record. He timed in at 18.436 seconds. That's 97.635 miles per hour. Joined Sammy Smith as General Tire Pole Award winners here in the ARCA Menards Series West here in 2021. We go ahead and take a look at our General Tire starting grid while we have the opportunity. Of course, Tanner Reif on the pole. He's going to be joined on the front row by Cole Moore, our defending Rookie of the Year. car number 99. Joey East with a great qualifying run. He's going to be joined back in row 2 by Trevor Huddleston. Trevor is the all-time leading winner here at Irwindale Speedway. Of course, he picked up his first West Series victory here back in 2019. Todd Souza, Jake Drew back in row number 3. We're going to keep an eye on both of those drivers. Of course, Jake Drew tied for the championship, officially finished second last year. We'll keep an eye on both of those drivers. PJ Pedroncelli and Austin Herzog back in row 4. Sebastian Arias and Takuma Koga, a couple of international drivers, back in row 5. Bridget Burgess, Nick Janitis, Chris Loudon, Stafford Smith, and Paul Pedroncelli rounding out our 15-car starting grid. Denise Engel given the field 1 to go. Next time by, we'll go racing for 150 laps. One of the most beautiful short track racing facilities in the country. Folks, if you have not been to Irwindale Speedway and you are a fan of short track racing, put this place on your bucket list. It is absolutely immaculate. The racing here, intense. Chuck Welch has the lights off on the pace car. He's about to make a hard left-hand turn to bring the pace car down into the infield. Tanner Reif. Jake drove that car last year. Tanner Reif, Cole Moore up on the front row, coming to green. Tanner Reif and Cole Moore leading the field to the green. It is time to rock, roll, and rumble, folks. Green flag out here at Irwindale. Tanner Reif will take the extreme low line through turns 1 and 2. He's going to jump out to the lead, but let's see what Cole Moore can do. He's going to dive to the inside of the racetrack. A little slip and slide, dip and dive here on lap 1. Tanner Reif, he's going to hold on to the lead and come across the start-finish line to lead lap number 1. And look at that 3-wide battle for second behind him. Joey East in the 54 car with a good start. East to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to work his way past Cole Moore. Trevor Huddleston in the mix. Already some intense action. Ooh, almost. Joey East tried to clear Cole Moore off of turn 2. Didn't quite have him cleared. Cole's going to dive to the outside of the racetrack. He's going to pull along side by side there and retake that second position down into turns 1 and 2. And they're both catching Tanner Reif. Tanner using the outside line. Cole Moore committed to the inside. More the middle groove of the racetrack, actually. And Joey East all the way below that white line. We're going to have a 3-way battle for the lead here momentarily, folks. They filed single file for about half a second right there, and then Cole Moore dove down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Yeah, we're going to string them single file, but there goes Cole all the way to the bottom. Hugging that white line. He's going to pull alongside Reif down the backstretch. Reif's going to use the momentum of the top side of the racetrack and that 12 degrees of banking to his advantage. We're going to see that all night long, folks. That top lane with all of that banking, and I say all of that banking, 12 degrees not all that much, but the most banking we have here allows him to build the momentum and build the speed, but the low side is the short way around, and that's so enticing to some of these drivers. There's Trevor Huddleston working the bottom side through 3 and 4 right there. Right now, the top 5 stringing single file through turns 1 and 2. Tanner Reif holding on to the lead. Cole Moore in second. Joey East, Trevor Huddleston, and there's Jake Drew. First time we've seen him on screen momentarily there in car number 6. Huddleston dipping the nose of the number 50 car down to the inside of Joey East. East with a great qualifying run here, started 3rd. Of course, Joey picked up his first career victory last season out at Colorado National Speedway. Young man working on the family farm during the week and coming out and fighting for the championship here, the ARCA Menards Series West on the weekends. Again, Huddleston working the bottom side. You really have to commit to that bottom groove if you're going to make it work. And right now, Trevor just can't get the momentum up to slide by and take that position from Joey. Is again, great racing up among the top 5. Everybody within a car length or 2 of each other. We're already working lap 12. Cole Moore stalking Tanner Reif down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Moore going to dip to the bottom of the racetrack. Again, hard to make up ground on the bottom side of the racetrack. Really have to work it lap after lap. We see some damage to one of the cars. I believe that was PJ Pedroncelli. Yeah, look at that damage to PJ Pedroncelli. Looks like he has made some contact on the racetrack. You see the lettering rubbed off the left front tire, and the fender has been knocked loose. So that could be something we need to keep an eye on throughout the rest of the evening. PJ working just outside the top 5, back in the 8th position. Already showing some battle scars here. Just a 10th of the way into tonight's Napa Auto Parts 150. Love watching the flames belch out of the right side of that Joey East automobile every time he rolls out of the gas. East still feeling some pressure from Trevor Huddleston, lurking back in the 4th position. Trevor, the all-time winningest driver here at Irwindale Speedway, multiple-time late model track champion. Cole Moore having to pinch that car as he's working through some traffic. Chris Loudon in the number 11 automobile really forced Cole to check up coming off of turn 4 right there as the field scattering again into turn 3 this time, East to the top side. Huddleston again trying to use that lap car to his advantage, can't make it stick. He's going to fall back into 4th. Third, 4th, and 5th on your screen. Joey East in 3rd. He's in number 54. Trevor Huddleston in the 50. Jake Drew in car number 6. Tanner Reif opening up about a 5, not making about a 10 car length lead now over Cole Moore in 2nd. They work past Bridget Burgess at car number 88. A lot of flame out of the exhaust there of the Bridget Burgess automobile. Now Cole Moore starting to feel some heat. He is drifting back into the clutches of Joey East. Moore continuing to use the bottom side of the racetrack. Joey East working well on the top side. Now here comes Jake Drew looking to the inside of Trevor Huddleston. These two were teammates last year. Drew working to the bottom, trying to work his way past Trevor Huddleston to pick up the 4th position. Second, 3rd, 4th, and 5th on the racetrack. Nose to tail, Cole Moore working the bottom side, not able to drive away from this group, but he's not feeling a lot of heat from Joey East just yet. East hasn't been able to get up there and challenge for that position. Moore very comfortable on the bottom side of the racetrack, both ends of the speedway. East rolling the top side in the 54. There's the advantage. Tanner Reif, P1. There's Cole Moore sitting back in 2nd. About a 10 to 12 car length advantage right now for Tanner Reif. Cole Moore was last year's Bounty Rookie of the Year. had a pretty solid season, but couldn't really get up there. A challenge for wins. I talked to him a couple of weeks back at Phoenix Raceway, and he said, look, man, I'm tired of finishing at the back of the top 5. We're not messing around anymore. We're going to go out here and challenge for victories, and he has done just that here tonight. Qualified outside the front row. He has run in that second position since the drop of the green. Moore doing a really nice job in that 99. Of course, Bill McAnally Racing transitioning into Chevrolets for 2022. Trevor Huddleston again starting to put some pressure on Joey East. East now driving it in deep, trying to pull alongside Cole Moore through turns 3 and 4. Looked like he had a run going there into turn 3, couldn't make it stick. Now he's gonna dive to the bottom down in turns 1 and 2. Talk about a little slip and slide, dip and dive. Joey East going from top to bottom. He's side by side with Cole Moore for second. Can Joey East make the bottom side work? He's gonna drift all the way out, carry Cole Moore to the top of the racetrack. Moore hasn't been to the top side of the speedway so far tonight, and he's not going to be able to make it work. Joey East moving up to second. Cole Moore back to third. He still is going to face some pressure. Trevor Huddleston. Jake Drew now all over the back bumper. Huddleston now working to the outside of the 99. Huddleston will take over the third position. Or will he? Moore fighting back hard down to the bottom side, and there's a lap car in the mix. Nick Janitis in the 77. He doesn't have anywhere to go, folks. He's just wanting to get out of the way. Here comes Jake Drew as they try to keep off of Janitis to the top side. Ooh, they make a little contact there going off into turn 1. Jake Drew will take over that 4th spot. So Cole Moore dropping from 2nd to 5th as now Drew looking to the inside of Huddleston. The battle for 3rd. Mixing it up in the top 5 here. Some great racing here in the opening laps of the Napa Auto Parts 150 here at Irwindale Speedway. Sebastian Arias now. Lap car in the mix. Huddleston will drive to the inside of Sebastian Arias. Jake Drew coming along with. He still's got that fender alongside. Doesn't want to give up any track position here as he's still digging hard to the bottom side of the racetrack. Still side by side, the battle for 3rd. Looks like Joey East might have made a little contact there with Chris Loudon driving off into turn 1 right there. It's Jake Drew. Does he have him clear just yet? Maybe not quite. Huddleston still not giving it up as now Jake Drew will finally clear Trevor Huddleston to take over the 3rd position. So a new look top 5. Tanner Reif still holding on to the lead. Joey East now working his way up into 2nd. Jake Drew in 3rd. Huddleston now sitting 4th, and Cole Moore back to 5th. Joey East holding on to 2nd, but here comes Jake Drew. Jake on the charge in that number 6 car. Of course, Jake drove the number 9 automobile last year. Transitioned over into the number 6 for 2022 as they work their way to the inside of Takuma Koga in the number 7. Takuma sitting in the 9th position, so a very torrid pace up at the front of the field already, lapping well up into the top 10. Tanner Reif racing out of the bottom of the screen there. He's got a 1.3, making a 1.4 second lead now over Joey East in 2nd. It's a good look at Trevor Huddleston making his first start of the season. Of course, Trevor picked up his first career West victory in a photo finish right here at his home racetrack. Of course, his dad, Tim, track president. No surprise that Trevor has a lot of experience here as now we focus in on Cole Moore, our defending Bounty Rookie of the Year. Let's go ahead and jump up to the front of the field. There's Tanner Reif. We haven't checked on him in a while. He's been out front, comfortably out front. Leading from the drop of the green flag. Tanner Reif still holding on to a sizable advantage. .3 seconds in hand over Joey East in second, making 1.4 seconds that time across the start-finish line. There's Tanner getting the opportunity to drive for team owner Bob Brancotti here in 2022, graduate of the 5150 Junior Late Model Series up at Madera Speedway. Also spent some time in the SRL Southwest Tour. 12 starts back in 2020 here at Irwindale Speedway. Picked up 1 win, so he's got some experience here at Irwindale Speedway, and he's using that to his advantage here tonight. Still holding on to a comfortable advantage over Joey East. Jake Drew dropping about 10 car lengths, maybe 15 car lengths or so off the back bumper of Joey East. We're approaching lap 50. 1/3 mark. About to go by the wayside here at Irwindale Speedway. PJ Pedroncelli still showing that damage to the left side of the number 33 car. He has gone a lap down. PJ in the 8th position. Tanner Reif setting him up and knocking him down here in the Napa Auto Parts 150. Of course, the Sunrise Racing team thought they might have had a shot at a couple of victories last year. Jake Drew, controversially, not picking up the win up at Portland last year. Thought he had that one in the bag. So it's been a couple of years for the Sunrise team. Going to victory lane. Pretty solid night going tonight. Tanner Reif holding on to the lead. Jake Drew sitting back in the 2nd position. Excuse me, back in the 3rd position. There's the driver in 2nd. Joey East in the number 54 car. Everybody kind of separated from one another as we wind our way towards that midway break coming up at lap 75. Take a 5-minute break, allow teams to change tires and make adjustments. That's coming up 22 laps from now. Caution free to this point. Tanner Reif stretching it out now. 1.8 seconds the advantage over Joey East. You saw the drivers 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th working their way through some of that traffic. Some of these cars, pretty good race cars. PJ Pedroncelli was a driver who contended for the championship last year. PJ sitting in the 8th position. One of those drivers falling a lap down. Next driver on the chopping block, our Bonnie Rookie Spotlight driver, Austin Herzog, sitting in the 7th position. Next driver to potentially fall off the lead lap. He's got about a 3-second advantage on the racetrack on Tanner Reif, so little breathing room. It's a good look at that damage on PJ Pedroncelli's number 33. Check in on our Bounty Rookie Spotlight driver tonight. There's Austin Herzog in that number 16 for Bill McAnally Racing. Of course, we talked about it at the top of the show. This is the car that carried Jesse Love to 2 wins right here at Irwindale back in 2021. Jesse moving on to other opportunities in the ARCA Menards Series and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series here in 2022. That opened up this ride. Austin Herzog, another graduate of the 5150 Junior Late Model Program. Got the call from BMR to hop in and having a pretty solid run at it here tonight, sitting back in the 7th position. As we close in on the 60 lap mark, there's Tanner Reif again working on the back bumper of Bridget Burgess down the backstretch. Bridget, of course, a very interesting story. The Burgess family picking up and moving from their home in Australia. Pretty much bringing only the clothes they had on their backs across the Pacific Ocean. Mom Sarah Burgess, father Adam, all working on that race car for Sarah. I understand we may be seeing Sarah, she's also the crew chief, folks. She's the crew chief as we see the caution flag coming out for the first time tonight, and there's why. Joey East having some issues. Looks like he may have gotten up into the wall over there in turns 3 and 4. That'll put us under the caution flag for the first time tonight. Joey hasn't been working those tires too hard. He's been working the top side of the racetrack, so I don't know what may have happened to put him up into the wall, but definitely some damage to the right side of that car there. You see the number scraped off the side, so he has definitely made some contact with the outside wall. As he brings that car down to the attention of the team. Mike Nake and the crew. Trying to lift it up so they can get the jack underneath it. If we can take a look. Ooh, yeah, already see him up into the wall, but definitely making some pretty significant contact right there. And that puts us under the caution flag for the first time here tonight. Lise Engel waving the caution flag. To have her up on the flag stand tonight. Believe that will move PJ Pedroncelli back onto the tail end of the lead lap. PJ was the first car 1 lap down. He was running back at 8th, but with Joey's problems here, that'll move him up to 7th, and they're having a hard time getting that right front tire changed. Tail end of the field. Still don't know what may have happened to him. Here's a good look at that 33 car. Of course, PJ picked up that damage very early in the race, but it hasn't hampered the handling of that car too much. I bet you he's getting a nice cool breeze. It's a very warm night here, folks. It's in the lower 80s today. It's cooled off into the upper 70s, so it's undoubtedly a little warm in that race car. So PJ getting a little air conditioning in that number 33 car, but he does pick up the free pass to join the tail end of the lead lap. PJ, one of the drivers who challenged for the championship last year. Of course, he picked up his first career win last year up at All-American Speedway, a thrilling last lap finish. Pass for the win. A lot of great racing in the West last year. That gives me some high hopes for a lot of great on-track action. We're going to be keeping an eye out for some of those Reese's Sweet Move candidates here throughout the rest of the race as well. Of course, Joey, yeah, he had a little good move there early in the going. We were pretty hot and heavy with drivers swapping positions, but may have to reconsider that move he made very early on. Don't forget, you can log on to ARCA's Twitter page tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. at ARCA_racing. Vote for your favorite. Reese's sweep over the race candidate. 1 to go signal given at start finish. Chuck Welch with the lights off on the pace car. Tanner Reif, Jake Drew, the two Sunrise Racing teammates up on the front row. Trevor Huddleston, Cole Moore back in row 2. There's Todd Souza, first time we've seen him all night long. He's going to restart from the 5th position alongside Austin Herzog. Of course, PJ Pedroncelli, last car on the lead lap. He's going to start out back. We come to the restart line. Flag back out. Field scrambling down into turns 1 and 2. It looks like Trevor Huddleston with a good restart. Everybody kind of scrambling behind. Does not look like Jake Drew got that car to go on the restart. Everybody scrambling behind him. And it looks like Todd Souza may be the one who comes out on the short end of the stick on that one. Souza has dropped all the way outside the top 5. And that's why. Flat left front tire on the 13 car. Tough break for Todd Souza. Driver who will be making his 100th career series start next time out at Kern County. Not how he wanted to end his chances for victory here tonight. And of course, we are just shy of that halfway break coming up at lap 75. Tough decision for Todd to make. Does he stay out? Does he come down pit road? And that's what he's going to do. He's going to come down to Michael Munoz and the crew and get that left front tire change and hope he can pick up a lucky dog somewhere along the way as they flash across the start finish line to complete lap 70. 5 to go until that midway break. Trevor Huddleston taking over that 2nd position on the restart. Looking for his 3rd career West Series victory. There's Austin Herzog trying to work his way past Takuma Koga. Not a battle for position, but still a battle on the racetrack. There's the top 3 working down the backstretch. Tanner Reif in the lead. Got about 10 car lengths on Trevor Huddleston. Trevor's got about 5 car lengths on Jake Drew. 2 to go until we reach that midway break. Tanner Reif hasn't felt much pressure all night long so far. Trevor Huddleston trying to change that here as we close in. On our halfway point here in the Napa Auto Parts 150. Coming to complete lap 75 this time around. We'll let the lead lap cars cycle through. We should see the caution come out this time around. There's the cross flags from Denise up on the flag stand. Once the lead lap cars cycle through, we should get the caution lights on around the speedway. And there they are. 2nd caution flag of the night. This one for the midway break. So far, it's been all Tanner Reif. Started on the General Tire pole and led every lap so far. As we take a look at our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap, I pretty much gave it to you, folks. That's been it. It's been the Tanner Reif show tonight. Picked up his 1st career General Tire pole award in qualifying earlier this afternoon. Darted into the lead at the drop of the green flag, and he has led all the way so far. We've only had that 1 caution flag back about lap 59. That was when Joey East had some issues with the right front corner of his car. He bounced off the outside wall. Running in the 2nd position at the time. And now we are under the 2nd caution flag of the evening. Bring the cars down Pit road here after a lap behind the pace car. We'll give the crews 5 minutes to change tires, make adjustments. If they need to add fuel, they can add fuel. Remember, just 2 tires under this brake. They've got 4 tires in the pits, 2 for this brake, 2 to use in case of emergency, but that would need to be approved by ARCA officials down on pit road. And Tanner Reif leading the field down on the pit road. Jeff Schrader and the crew will go to work on the number 9. Cole Moore bringing his car to the attention of Maria Isola and the team. We'll wait till everybody is down on pit road, then we'll give the signal. Crews will leap into action. And there you go, 5 minutes on the clock right now. Travis Thurkettle and the team going to work on the number 50 for Trevor Huddleston. Trevor's had a great night tonight. How about that? Tim Huddleston on the mic interviewing his son from the cockpit under this caution flag. Tim is everywhere here, folks. Bill Sedgwick-led team going to work on Jake Drew's number 6. Of course, a lot of people remember Bill as a championship-winning driver here in the ARCA Menards Series West. Driving for team owner Wayne Spears back in the 1990s. It looks like a big-time chassis adjustment happening on the 50 car. There's the damage on Joey East's number 54. That crew's still working on the right front corner of that automobile. A little damage on Cole Moore's number 99. That may have been incurred on that stack up on the restart coming to green. That scattered the field. How about that? Packed grandstand, having some fun here at Irwindale Speedway tonight. You love to see it, folks. Short track racing alive and well as we kick things off at Irwindale Speedway here in 2022. While the fans are having a good time, we're going to step away and take a quick break. You're watching the Napa Auto Parts 150 presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame live on Flow Racing. We'll be right back after this quick break. Welcome back to Irwindale Speedway, still under the midway break here in the Napa Auto Parts 150 presented by the West Coast Stock Car Hall of Fame. Here's our leader, Tanner Reif, making his way back out onto the racetrack. The field line up, and as we do that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at our Richmond Water Heaters mid-race recap. There's a great battle for position early in the race. Joey East, Cole Moore. There's some damage to PJ Pedroncelli's number 33. Little AC on a warm night here tonight at Irwindale Speedway. Look at that 4-car battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Great racing here in the early going. There's that battle. Jake Drew trying to work his way past Trevor Huddleston. That was the battle for 3rd. Jake Drew eventually taking over that spot. He was trying to track down Joey East when that happened. Joey had some problems with the right front corner of that car. He went into the outside wall, and on the restart, tough break for Todd Souza in the 13 car. Flat left front tire after some contact on that restart. There's Denise Engel with the crossed flags, putting us at the halfway point and restacking the field. As we are just past the halfway point, we'll stack them up and let them roll. And I believe we'll have probably, I think, 72 laps remaining by the time we get the green flag. While we do have a moment, let's take a look at our remaining ARCA Menards Series East schedule. All those races coming up here live on Flow. April 29th, Dover Motor Speedway, a 1 mile concrete oval up there. May the 7th up at Nashville Fairgrounds Raceway, both of those races live here on Flow. Then we've got 3 combination races coming up with the ARCA Menards Series. June 11th at Iowa Speedway, August 28th up at the Milwaukee Mile, and the season finale September 15th at Bristol Motor Speedway. Those races will be streamed live here on Flow. You can watch them live on MAV TV as well. The remainder of the 2022 ARCA Menards Series West schedule will move next to Kern County Raceway on April 23rd. First road course race of the year coming up June 4th at Portland. Then the second road course race coming up on the 11th at Sonoma Raceway. Back here to Irwindale on July the 2nd. The 1,000th race in West Series history coming up on August 20th at Evergreen Speedway. Second race of the year up at Portland Raceway on September the 3rd. All-American Speedway coming up on October 1st. Las Vegas Bull Ring coming up on October 14th. And then we'll settle the season finale, settle it all at on November 5th at Phoenix Raceway. And all of those races will be live here on Flow Racing. And it's a good thing we had that extra lap there, folks, because I was about to run out of time going through that schedule. So I appreciate Chris Wright giving me an extra lap there, as we do get the one to go signal one more time from Denise Engel in the flag stand. Chuck Welch putting the lights off in the pace car, and we will bring them back to green. Tanner Reif inside front row for this restart. Trevor Huddleston up on the outside. Jake Drew and Cole Moore back in row 2. Austin Herzog, PJ Pedroncelli back in row 3. Takuma Koga, he is back on the lead lap. He's going to start out back in 7th. The field rolling towards the restart line. Let's see if Tanner Reif gets the same kind of restart that he did earlier in the race. Green flag's back out. Let's see what happens down here into turn 1. They made a huge chassis adjustment there on the 50 car during that break. Let's see if it helps Huddleston here on the short run. He is still side by side with Tanner Reif through turns 3 and 4. Reif will lead him across the start-finish line, but Huddleston's still there. Huddleston does not want to give it up. He's going to slide back into the 2nd position. Now Jake Drew sliding back into 3rd. Cole Moore back into 4th. Here comes Austin Herzog. First time we've seen him up into the top 5 tonight. Herzog to the inside of his teammate Moore. This the battle for 4th. Herzog drives it all the way down to the grass there in turns 3 and 4 that time. Huddleston still tracking a car length off of our leader, and this the battle for 3rd. Here comes Cole Moore. He's going to slide up in front of Jake Drew to take over that 3rd position. That's a great pass right there by Cole Moore. That could be a Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate. Cole Moore with the power move to take over the 3rd position. See if Cole can track down that lead duo. They've put some distance on that battle for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Tanner Reif, Trevor Huddleston. Huddleston hasn't lost step at all since that restart. He is on the back bumper of Tanner Reif. made a big time chassis adjustment on that 50 car during that break. And apparently that adjustment has worked. Huddleston, who at times was nearly 2 seconds off of Tanner Reif's pace there in that opening segment of the race, now all over the back bumper. Started this race right before sunset. As you can see, the sun has gone down here at Irwindale Speedway, now blanketed in darkness. Track conditions going to change just a touch. So we'll see if that chassis adjustment, like they were tightening that race car up a little bit. Well, not a little bit. It would have been a big time adjustment, tightening it up a lot on that midway break pit stop right there. But we'll see if that plays into Trevor Huddleston's favor here as the track continues to cool off as the night wears on here. There's Cole Moore in the 99 car. He's broken away a little bit from Jake Drew. Jake back in the 4th position. He's dropped about 20 car lengths off of Cole Moore. Cole hasn't really reeled in that top 2 too much. They lost a little bit of ground that time around. So these two, Tanner Reif, Trevor Huddleston, stretched it out on the rest of the field. Huddleston trying to stick the nose underneath. He's going to move to the middle groove of the racetrack and see if he can't make up some ground. Maybe get out and set sail. Tanner Reif working the top side of the racetrack. He's got 12 degrees of banking at his disposal. And there's Trevor Huddleston. He's going to dive it all the way down to the bottom side of the racetrack where there's just 9 degrees of banking. But there's Chris Loudon again in the 11 car, kind of throwing a pick there on the advance of Trevor Huddleston. Huddleston going to give up a little bit of ground right there. He was all over the back bumper last time through turns 3 and 4. He's given up about 5 car lengths as they had to work their way through some race traffic. Tanner Reif now 3/4 of a second in hand on Trevor Huddleston, back in second. See if Cole Moore has been able to open up a little gap there on Jake Drew. Looks like he still's got a little comfortable advantage right there, but Jake reeling him in just a touch. It's about 20 car lengths. Now it's down to about 10 car lengths. Jake in the number 6 working the top side of the racetrack. We have seen Cole Moore on the bottom side of the racetrack all night long, folks. That 99 car set up to work that bottom side of the racetrack. He's worked it well this evening, sitting in the 3rd position. Of course, this would be the 23rd season that team owner Bob Riccati has fielded cars in the West Series. We'd make that the 17th season. He's been a team owner here in the Southern California region, starting in the late model ranks back in 2000, but made the leap into the West Series in 2006. Let's see if Jake Drew can dive it down to the bottom side of the racetrack and take over that 3rd position. He had him clear for about a half a second right there, but there's why that top side of the racetrack is preferred. You're able to build up some momentum down the straightaway, but wow, Jake Drew really getting that car to turn well through the bottom of turns 3 and 4. He's going to take over that third spot. We talked about the pass that Cole Moore made on Jake being a potential Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate. That pass right there. Jake Drew on Cole Moore could be another Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate. Jake really making the bottom side work. He has been working the top side of the racetrack pretty much all night long. When the time came to make the move on the 99 car, he drove it down to the bottom side and absolutely powered past. We talked about the history of the Sunrise Racing team. Of course, they've won 35 times over the years, and they had championships back in 2009, 2013, and 2018. Jason Bowles back in 2009, and then Derek Thorne back in 2013 and 2018. Thought they were going to have a championship last year with Jake Drew at the wheel, but lost it on the final lap of the final race. Jesse Love picked up a position on that final lap, and he tied with Jake Drew. And of course, Jake lost that tiebreaker based on wins. Jesse had a couple of wins, and Jake had yet to visit victory lane. So Sunrise Ford Racing team looking for a little redemption here in 2022. And right now, Tanner Reif looking like he is going to drive this thing off literally into the sunset. I don't know if that's literally and figuratively or just literally, but the sun is already set here tonight, and Tanner Reif driving away from the field. Over 1 second the advantage now over Trevor Huddleston in the second position. Looks like Huddleston picked up just a touch. It was 0.98 at the start finish line that time around, but it was up over a second the lap before. Tanner Reif leading from that General Tire pole, his first ever pole award here in the West Series. He has led all the way so far tonight. 110 laps in the books, 40 remaining here at Irwindale Speedway. A very quick pace set tonight. Up at the front of the field, there's a good look at our Bounty rookie spotlight driver tonight, Austin Herzog in that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Austin sitting back in the 5th position. Trying to track down his teammate, Cole Moore. Intra-squad rivalry. Cole sitting in that 4th position in the number 99 car. He's about a second and a half up in front of Austin Herzog. So Austin still has a little bit of work to do to get up there and challenge Cole for that 4th position. Jump back up to the front of the field. There's Tanner Reif. There's a good look at Cole Moore. See the brakes glowing on that left front corner. Cole using a lot of brake to get that car down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Get it slowed and turned. Cole had a pretty solid season last year on his way to top rookie honors. Picked up a few top 5 runs along the way. Cut back in, up at the front of the field. Tanner Reif still holding on to a 1 second advantage. Trevor Huddleston trying to keep him in sight. There's Huddleston working his way through some lap traffic. There's Chris Loudon in the 11 car. Huddleston looking to go back to victory lane for the 2nd time in the West Series here at Irwindale Speedway. Of course, we talked about it at the top of the show. The all-time winningest driver here at Irwindale Speedway. We look at Jake Drew trying to track Trevor Huddleston down. These two were teammates last year. We talked about that position that Jesse Love picked up on the final lap last year at Phoenix. none other than Trevor Huddleston. Trevor was the driver that Jesse Love passed that cost his teammate the championship. It was a very unfortunate 27 seconds or so there for the Sunrise Racing team, but Jake Drew quickly putting that out of mind. Saw him down at Daytona International Speedway. He was a part of the ARCA Menards Series Road to Daytona program earlier in the season. His first laps ever down at Daytona, and had a chance to chat with him down there. And he said, yeah, man, all we can do is put it behind us. We're going to lock and load and try to do 1 point better here in 2022. Try to go out and get our first win and close on that championship. Jake's always got a big smile on his face and undoubtedly wants to get up there and battle for that second position. He'd like to get up there and track his teammate down as well. Tanner Reif holding on to the lead. Still unchallenged, 1.3 seconds the advantage now over this, the battle for second. There's Takuma Koga in the 7 car, separating Trevor Huddleston in second from Jake Drew back in third. Drew's going to move to the bottom side of the racetrack and work his way past Takuma Koga. Takuma's having a pretty solid night tonight, sitting back in the 7th position. Takuma out of Nagoya, Japan, making the longest commute to race with us here at Irwindale Speedway tonight. Closing in on 25 laps to go. A very clean Napa Auto Parts 150 to this point. What will the final 25 laps bring us tonight? We're about to find out. Jake Drew starting to close in on Trevor Huddleston. The battle for second. Trevor Huddleston still holding on to the second position. Hasn't been able to make up any ground on Tanner Reif. And he hasn't given up any ground to Jake Drew. Stabilizing here among the top 3. That's what 1.3 seconds looks like right there. The advantage between our leader Tanner Reif as he comes across the start finish line to complete lap 127. Trevor Huddleston holding on to the second position. Jake Drew back in third. Working around Chris Loudon one more time in the number 11 car. Chris back in the 13th position. Jake Drew working to the inside of Loudon off of turn 4. Still not able to make up any ground on Trevor Huddleston. Trevor holding on to the second position. Of course, this is his first start in 2022. Was not out at Phoenix a couple of weeks back. Of course, the Phoenix race, a combination race with the ARCA Menards series. Taylor Gray picking up his first career ARCA Menards series victory, but that also counts as a West victory, so that was his 4th career West series win. We'll see him a couple of times later on in the season. As now Jake Drew starting to put some pressure on Trevor Huddleston. He's been working the bottom side of the racetrack and slowly, ever so slowly, making up some ground. Right now he's a couple of car lengths back. Nick Janitis in the 77 car directly in front of this battle. Will Nick get up and force, he's going to force Trevor Huddleston to dive to the bottom side of the racetrack. Trevor hasn't been running that groove too much here in the second half of the race. So that car set up to run the top side, and right now that's going to allow Jake Drew to get down to the bottom of the racetrack and try to make it stick. Trevor going to hold him off, hold on to that second position. Jake again working to the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to take over the second position, coming to 15 laps to go. 135 in the books, 15 to go here at Irwindale. Right now, this is the best battle on the racetrack. Trevor Huddleston has second. Jake Drew wants second. They're going to dive to the inside of Bridget Burgess through turns 3 and 4. Bridget running in the 12th position. Trevor can't make that pass stick, so Jake always going to fake to the outside and then try to dive to the bottom side as Trevor drifts up the racetrack just a bit. That's going to allow Jake to pull alongside down into turns 3 and 4. Trevor's got the momentum built up off of the top side of the racetrack. He's going to hold on to that second position for now. Here comes Jake Drew again to the bottom side. Doesn't want to give up. 13 circuits to go here at Irwindale. Trevor Huddleston holding on to second. Jake Drew throwing everything but the kitchen sink at him so far. Now Jake going to follow in the tire tracks through turns 3 and 4. Trying to cool those tires off for one more run at it here. I say one more run at it, but it's probably going to be a few more runs at it. 10 to go this time around. 10 laps remaining. There's Tanner Reif under the start-finish line. There's the battle for second. Trevor Huddleston to the top side. Jake Drew to the bottom. They're about a full straightaway behind. Both of those cars sliding out of turn 4 right there. These guys thrashing at it, doing everything they can to either hold on to that position, that's what Trevor's trying to do, or take that position. That's what Jake's trying to do. Again, Jake drawing alongside through turns 3 and 4. You see that car wiggle just a touch. He's going to drop back behind Trevor Huddleston. They're going to work alongside Joey East. Joey a few laps back. Saw him running well up into the top 5 earlier tonight. Had that incident with the turn 1 wall. Back at the 9th position, 3 laps down as we inside 10 to go. Jake Drew still stalking Trevor Huddleston through turns 3 and 4. The handling starting to go away on the 6 car. We've seen that car wiggle a couple of times. Under power off of turn 4. That could be exactly what Trevor Huddleston needs to hold on to that second position right now. No pressure at all for Tanner Reif. Tanner holding on to the advantage. 2.3 seconds to lead, and here comes Jake Drew one more time to the bottom side of the racetrack. Can't make it stick. Trevor Huddleston holding on to that second position. This has been a very clean battle for position, but we'll see what happens. Ooh, as we see contact there. And Chris Loudon gonna go around. That puts us under the caution flag with just a handful of laps to go. Oh boy, folks, this changes everything. Chris Loudon with a little shove from Jake Drew going off into turn 3. He's going to spin it around and make some contact with the outside wall, but that's going to stack us up for a restart, which should be an overtime restart. So that'll give us a green, white, checkered finish to settle it. There's the damage to the back of that number 11 car. We can take a replay of what happened back there going off into turn 3. Loudon was up out of the way. Let's take a look at what happened. He gave Trevor Huddleston plenty of room, but here comes Jake Drew. Jake with a lot of contact there going off into turn 3. Loudon, nothing he could do. He was just along for the ride at that point. Made some contact with the outside wall. Damage to the driver's side, the left side. Here he comes right at you, folks. Ooh, that's as close as it gets right there. But that does put us under the caution flag, and that will send us into overtime. And again, if you're new to the ARCA Menards series, overtime rules, well, we're going to have unlimited attempts at a green, white, checkered finish. We'll try it as many times as it takes. And if the white flag comes out and the caution flag comes out again, we'll have unlimited attempts at a one-lap dash. The green and white flags will come out together, and we will see a checkered flag finish under green. Based on the aggression level that we just saw right there, folks, I think we got a pretty good chance at maybe doing this again. We'll find out. Denise Engel going to give us the one-to-go signal. Tanner Reif, Trevor Huddleston up on the front row. Jake Drew, Cole Moore back in row 2. Austin Herzog, PJ Pedroncelli back in row 3. Those 6 cars are your lead lap cars. Chuck Welch making the left-hand turn off the racetrack. Probably a very safe move based on what I think we're about to see. Coming back to the restart line. Tanner Reif, Trevor Huddleston on the front row. Single with the green flag back in the air, on the hammer down into turn 1, and we're going to stack them up down into turn 1. Jake Drew gets into Trevor Huddleston. That's going to allow Cole Moore to move to the outside. He's going to take over the second spot. Austin Herzog's going to follow through. We're 4 wide behind him, coming to the white flag. Tanner Reif taking the white flag. Still 4 wide behind him. Reif working his way down the backstretch. No pressure from behind. Tanner Reif looking through turns 3 and 4. He will be looking at the checkered flag. Tanner Reif picking up career win number 1 here at Irwindale. Cole Moore across the line in second. Austin Herzog coming home in third. How about it? Tanner Reif in just his second career ARCA Menards Series start, picking up the General Tire pole in qualifying and putting the exclamation point on it tonight with career win number 1. We knew we were going to see some excitement on that restart. Jake Drew threw everything he had, including the kitchen sink this time. Made some contact with Trevor Huddleston, and that stacked up the field, and that allowed Tanner Reif to drive off to pick up his first career ARCA Menards Series West victory. Career best finish tonight for Cole Moore in second. Austin Herzog picking up his first career top 5. Back in third. Jake Drew and PJ Pedroncelli rounding out the top 5. We have a very excited Tanner Reif pulling down into victory lane. There's the damage to Jake Drew. A lot of contact between he and Trevor Huddleston on that restart. Let's take a look at that restart. Keep an eye on the number 6. Looks like he went up the racetrack, got into Cole Moore. Cole got into the 50. Huddleston turned down the racetrack. Yeah, a lot of contact right there. And that led to the 50 and the 6 hitting almost nose to nose. Could be a Reese's Sweet move of the race candidate there for Cole Moore in the 99, avoiding that situation. We'll get another look at that after we celebrate here with Tanner Reif. Team owner Bob Brancati's 36th career West Series victory. He pulls it back down into victory lane. We'll hear from him momentarily. There's very happy Jeff Schrader getting some hugs down there. We are going to send it downstairs to Jesse Punch as we await a very happy Tanner Reif down in victory lane. Jesse?
The 16-year-old from Las Vegas, Nevada, in his rookie season leads all 150 laps from the pole. Tanner, how do you describe this moment?
I'll talk to you in a second. I gotta take a breath from my Noah tracks. My buddy Noah.
I think he's excited. Put Jesse Punch on hold. Wow. Talk about a moment. Yeah, that is an excited young man as we send it back down to Jesse.
All right, Tanner, I'll give you a minute to take your helmet off. Quite a celebration there from the rookie. So much emotion down here in victory lane. His very first career win here tonight at Irwindale Speedway. We'll give him a chance to get his helmet off. Tanner Reif, just 16 years old, gets win number 1. Tanner, describe this emotion.
I can't. I really can't. This has been the best day of my goddamn life. Sorry. I want to thank the team, my family, my sponsors. Everyone helps us get out here. I'm out of breath. I'm so sorry. My family, my mom, my dad, Vegas Fasteners, Troubles get out here. All the fans. I'm out of breath. I can't believe it.
Tanner, this moment, what does this mean to you?
Man, I think it's first of many. I think we're here to stay. I really think so. The team's doing such a good job, and we're doing this. I train every day, and I dedicated my life to this, and I really put more work than I think I ever have to anything, and I'm really, really proud of everyone that helped us get here.
A hard-fought win, career win number 1 for Tanner Reif here tonight at Irwindale Speedway.
You know, I think we take it for granted sometimes just how hard it is to win these races, and the emotion on this young man's face. That's right. That's what it's all about right there, folks. Wow, how fun is that? Celebration down in victory lane. Incredible. And what a job he did tonight. Picked up the pole in qualifying, led every lap of the race. And there's a disappointed Jake Drew going back to the pits. He thought he had a shot at it tonight. I think Jake will have a chance to get his share of victories as the 2022 season goes on. But in any case, his teammate Tanner Reif headlining a wild celebration down there in victory lane. Great to see. Congratulations to Tanner and the Bob Brancati Sunrise Racing team. As we wait for Jesse to go down and get in position. as we hear from some more of our top finishers here tonight. Be glad to hear from Cole Moore, young man who picked up his career best finish tonight. There's Cole. Big smile on his face after surviving the chaos on that last restart. Actually, he survived chaos on a couple of restarts as we sent it downstairs to Jesse and hear from our second place finisher, Cole Moore.
Second place finisher here tonight. Cole, just short of career win number 1. What's going through your mind right now?
Honestly, we were probably a fourth place car tonight, but the green-white checker, Trevor spun in front of me. I stayed in it, kind of got into him, and the guys in second and third kind of pushed him out of the way. So we made it happen on the green-white checker, and second's actually really good for what we had.
You talked to me before the race. You said momentum was feeling high carrying out through last season. Do you still think you can get career number 1 this season?
Absolutely. Going into Kern, next race, one of my favorite tracks, will be a threat up front for sure.
Thanks, Cole.
Cole Moore's got a lot of experience up at Kern County Raceway Park, so we'll see if he can follow through with his prediction that he will be a contender up there as he comes off his career best finish tonight. And he is exactly right. He was kind of the snow plow that went right through the middle of those cars, scattering on that restart. I think we will have to nominate him as a Reese's Sweet Move of the Race candidate for that late race overtime restart there. Don't forget, you can log on to the ARCA Menards Series Twitter page tomorrow morning starting at 9 a.m. That's at ARCA_racing. Cast your vote. We're going to send it back down to Jesse to hear from Austin Herzog, our third place finisher tonight.
I set you up to do that terrible. Here's a terrible question. Here's a terrible
I'll figure it out one way or another.
All right, Austin. We got 3-2. Austin Herzog, third place here tonight. From your perspective, what happened on that final restart?
It looked like the 6 and the 50 got into it a little bit. It looked like a racing deal to me, but I saw it as a chance that I could take to try to get some more position, and it worked out to our advantage. I can't thank all these Napa guys enough, and Bill McAnally and all the fans, of course, and Row Environmental. They're all such a huge help, and I'm so blessed to be out here.
Thanks, Austin.
By the Bill McAnally Racing teammates. But tonight, it's the Sunrise Racing team coming out on top. I talked about it in the broadcast. Tanner Reif kind of driving off into the sunset. He was so far ahead, folks. He was driving off into the sunrise. How do you like that? Yeah, but in any case, putting the Bob Brancati team back in victory lane after a couple of season drought. There's a good look at Tanner Reif celebrating down in victory lane. It is the night of destruction here tonight at Irwindale Speedway, folks. This is a great way to get these fans jacked up to see some cars get destroyed down here on the infield. But wow, what a finish tonight, and what a wild victory lane celebration as the team celebrating down, doing the hat dance. Tanner's dad and younger brother down there in victory lane with him as well. Let's see if we can take a look at that restart one more time. Keep an eye on the 99 car. He started outside the second row. Looks like Trevor got a little wiggle right there, and then they all just kind of stacked into one another. The 6 and the 50 made a lot of contact right there, and that unfortunately knocked Trevor Huddleston out of the top 5. He actually would come home in 6th tonight, and while Jake Drew was 2nd right there at that moment, he eventually faded back to 4th. Here's a good look from the turn 1 cam, and yeah, a lot of contact right there. And I think Cole Moore is going to get a nomination for the Reese's Sweet Move race of the race, folks. He immediately went to the outside and cleared both of those cars and drove off to a 2nd place finish. Here's a look from the speed shot, and right there is where that contact was made. I don't know that there was any intent by anybody right there. It looked like Trevor may have just spun the tires a little bit, went down the racetrack just a touch. He, Cole, and Jake just kind of came together right there. Unfortunate way to end the night. But that did allow Tanner Reif to jump out to the lead. Cole Moore and Austin Herzog were able to slip by, both of them picking up their career best West Series finish. Don't forget, we'll see the West in action again coming up Saturday, April 23rd, coming up at Kern County Raceway. You can see that one live right here on Flow Racing. It has been a wild night of action here. A lot of great racing here in the early going. Joey East doing a little slip and slide, dip and dive with Cole Moore. There's some damage to PJ Pedroncelli's number 33 car. Look at that great racing. 4 cars battling for the 2nd position there in the early going. And eventually Jake Drew would put the moves. Oh boy, he and Trevor Huddleston went at it all night long. Joey East, tough way to end his night. Same thing for Todd Souza. Todd was up in the top 5 when he had a flat left front tire. There's Jake Drew trying to track down Trevor Huddleston. He got into Chris Loudon. That sent us into overtime. A little contact right there. And that'll put Tanner Reif in victory lane. Folks, it's been great. We look forward to seeing you next time when we race up at Kern County Raceway Park. Until then, so long, everybody.